So in this video I'm going to replace the near side headlamp on my Renault Laguna. Now I've tried all sorts of things on these headlights. I've done the buffing thing, not very well, and then I also resorted to using a heat gun because apparently that works really well. The only problem with the heat gun was I think it put fine fractures into the plastic, and then come summer and winter it's cracked, so now it's completely destroyed. So it's got to come out and be replaced. So this is a headlight I've bought off eBay for about £20, and I'm going to put a bit of lamp doctor paste on there and then gradually work my way over this headlight and see if I can bring it back up, because most of the headlights now have actually got the yellowing or are faded. So even if you buy one off eBay, it's likely to still need to be buffed up. So this time I'm actually taking my time, and I'm actually going to go slowly and try and work at this correctly. The first time I did this, I sort of did a bit of a rush job. The results weren't very good, and it was quite disappointing. But as you can see, now I'm actually taking my time with it. This is actually coming up quite nicely. So I was using quite a slow speed as well. I think the first time I did it, I used high speed, and again you risk damaging the headlights. So there I've just finished buffing it off, and I can see inside the headlamp, and that looks a lot better now. So the next job now is to actually remove all the bumper to get to the headlight. So here we go. Now to remove the bumper. So this is not an easy task. You've got to remove the wheels and the wheel arch liners, and then actually unbolt the bumper and remove it. So here I'm obviously removing the wheels, just speeding this up with an air gun. Whip those off, and then what you've got to do is you've got quite a few plastic fasteners to remove. So here they are. I've coloured them in, and there's also some Torx 20 screws that also need to be removed. So we'll crack on now. So here's the plastic push-in sort of rivets. Now I think they can snap if you're a bit rough with these, so it might be worth just gradually easing it back and forth until they come out. So I managed to not break any of those, which was good news. And here we've actually got a screw one, and at the bottom is a Torx 20 self-tapper, which I think's for the mud guards, or mud flap rather, or what's left of my mud flap. Doesn't seem to be much there now. So I'll just do that again on the other side. Like I say, it's quite a lot of work just to get to a headlight. In contrast, on my Ford Focus, to remove the headlight, I think it's one screw and the whole headlight's out. So pretty simple on the Ford, but then it rusts to pieces. So swings and roundabouts, isn't it? But then saying that, talking of rust, you'll see one part of this car that is extremely rusty when I actually remove the wheel arch liners. So just removing the other parts underneath the engine bay. I actually found a dead bird in here, which was a bit disappointing. So obviously got scooped up during the winter or something. But anyway, so this is a 10mm for these screws. Now if you'll notice, there's lots of rust falling down now, which I was a little bit surprised at, because I thought, that's a lot of bits of metal. Now what that's off is actually the bracket that holds the ABS pump, which is not great. So I'm just doing the other side now. A lot of my plastic parts are actually damaged through age, and obviously if you hit something, drive over something, they tend to break off. Now I've only got one screw here on this side. There should be another two in the middle, two 10mm, which are missing on mine. As you can see, it just drops down, so you may need to undo those. And then it's a case of removing the wheel arch liner and having a look at your ABS pump. You might be quite disappointed to see how badly rusty the ABS pump is when you actually get to it. So again, we'll just pop off the other side now. I mean, it comes out okay. What you will find is there's quite a lot of mud underneath once you actually do remove these liners. So it might be worth taking the opportunity to perhaps get a hose pipe in there and start sort of washing some of the mud out. I removed those sound absorbing pads there and got the mud off. So we'll just have a quick photo of what the fasteners are holding the bumper on. So I think it's only one screw that needs to be removed, but I also loosened the second one. Because obviously there's a fear of actually cracking the bumper. Because I think you've sort of got to pull it away and pull it forward at the same time. So if you get it wrong, you're likely to break it. So one was clearly holding it, and I think loosening the other one just makes it a little bit easier and less risky. So here we go. I'm just about to pull it away now, and you'll see. Whoa. So it all suddenly comes away quite quick there, which was a bit concerning because I didn't want to obviously break any of the plastic catches on the bumper itself. So what we also got to do is disconnect the fog lights, and if you've got any washer jets or anything for headlights, you may need to disconnect those as well. So obviously as the bumper comes away, if you've got wires there, you could obviously break the wires. So we just get those off, and then going on top of the engine bay, we've got 6 plastic rivets there, which sort of unscrew and just hook out. And then that's the final pass of actually trying to remove this. This is the last one. So like I say, it's not a quick job, this. You could say Renault have put a lot of effort into designing the car. But unfortunately that does make servicing quite difficult. There we are. So the bumper is now away. So it's quite a big piece. Probably easier if you actually did it with 2 people, that. So while the bumper's away, it might be worth actually just having some photos now to show the surrounding of the car. So you could obviously pause these for longer just to see what you're dealing with. Obviously you can see all the radiators there, the air conditioning condenser and the washer bottle. Okay, so now to finally remove the headlights. So this bit's not too bad, 10mm socket again, and we've got one fastener underneath, like so, and then we've got 2 on the top. Probably better putting those in a metal tray. I always seem to still put things on the bonnet. Never learnt my lesson yet. Just get the tray, and then you've got to unhook it from the wing. So be very careful again there. There's a plastic hook that goes into the wing, and there we are. That's the whole headlight unit. So you've got 2 cables there. That one's for the motor to adjust the beam angle. And obviously this one is the main one for the lights. So that might need a little screwdriver just to clip in there and unhook. There we go. So that's the headlight completely free. There we are. So we'll have a bit more of a look at this in closer detail. So you've got reference material. And then obviously it's a case of bringing the new one up, and then we've just got to go through a reverse procedure. So anyway, so taking a look at the old light, here we are, you can see the cracks in that. But what we'll do is we'll go through and actually have a look at all the bulbs and stuff. So if you come to replace them, you know exactly what bulbs are where. And you can also see the metal clips here, how they clip in. And there's the headlight adjustment motor. That's the underneath of the light. And that's the identity tag there. So the torque settings are 105 Newton meters for the wheel nuts. And here's some reference photographs which you can pause to view for longer. So there we are, there's those studs, or the rivets, plastic rivets that hold it all in. So there is quite a few of them. And there's the inside, the two 10mm bolts, one I removed and one I loosened. And then I'll highlight all these plastic parts so you can actually see what you're dealing with when you come to pull those off. And there's the bumper complete. And you can obviously see the fog lights there at the bottom. And there's my rusty ABS pump there, and the two two horns there. And obviously the air conditioning condenser there, and the washer bottle. So there we are. So I think that concludes this video. And you've been watching how to remove the bumper and headlight on a 2007 Renault Laguna 2. And thank you for watching and supporting my channel. And please like and subscribe. This video was filmed and edited by me, Mark Savage, in August 2023. And I can also be found on Instagram and Facebook as Coats and Gators.